thinks that. All right, go ahead.
Yo. It's been a couple weeks. Reverse Polarity, episode 15. We are back.
Wow.
It's me, your boy Hi-Fi Vega, and I'm joined, as always, by the man who never sleeps,
That's
Car
not true.
Audio's number 2 installer,
Oh, yeah. Good
the
call.
man who once said 720p in car audio screens is okay. It's Dean, my boy Dean. What's up, Dean?
Wow, that was a good cut. You never disappoint. 720p is okay in car audio screens. There's no doubt about it. 480 sucks. Yeah, I swear, I still have the 1057 in the car. I haven't swapped it out yet for the JVC that I have. And, God, it's so big.
Yeah.
It's so big. I'm almost getting used to it, but it sucks because it's so big. It's like...
You got to reach behind it to do the air conditioner controls.
Oh, no. Thankfully, those are on the screen. It's iData,
okay.
so all that stuff. No, but it's like I do have fan controls that I can't get to, so I have to leave that screen up. Especially now, like we were talking about here in Florida, the weather sucks because it'll be cold, hot, cold, hot, cold, hot. And I know our cold is not your guys' cold, but remember, when it's always hot here, going down to cold, It's cold for us. Like... It's 66. This would have been a good day to go running, but I'm not up to it today because I don't feel good. So,
well, I got to experience some real cold in Pennsylvania, and they were wearing t-shirts, dude. They were like, "Yeah, this is nothing." Like, I had the Carhartt on with the hoodie underneath.
Oh yeah,
I was freezing, but
it's funny you say that because that is 100% of Florida cold weather gear. It's whatever jacket you have, which usually isn't shit, with a hoodie underneath it.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's all we got. So if whatever is out there, and we may or may not have a long sleeve shirt to go underneath that. So if it's outside of that realm, it's like...
Yeah. And then all your jeans are eat up by moss and stuff, I'm sure.
I own 3 pairs of jeans, and that's 2 more than I need. But we bought them for when we went to Indianapolis back in 2018.
Oh, before the world ended.
Yeah, before the world ended, and it snowed that trip, so that was funny as hell.
Yeah,
you know, I go, Fernando, dude, check this out, it's freaking snowing. And we were with to get from the hotel to the convention center, you have to go through these tubes that aren't heated nor cooled. They're just tubes and are walkways. And we're walking through there, and this guy, Ernie Hartman, that works at Amp Global, was with us, and he's from Georgia. And so he talks like he's from Georgia. And he, of course, did not pack accordingly either. He's like, "Oh, my God, Jesus Christ, y'all need to speed the fuck up. This is cold shit." And we're like, "We're moving." I said, "He's got short legs. Shut up." It's like, "God damn, I should have stayed on the plane."
Yeah, I know the feeling because we were up there visiting my wife's brother, and he's accustomed to it now, and he's talking about, "Oh, this ain't cold." It's like, "Hey, man, like we're tropical people. You've evolved since then, but we're still tropical people down here."
Yeah, I mean, so when I'm driving home, if it says 50, below 55, I really have to think about whether or not I'm going running or not, because it's like, I went run. It was 52, I think, on Tuesday, and I went running, even though I was like, "You're an idiot." I was like, "I just need to go running." It's funny when I couldn't breathe, but I go running, and because everything dilates, I could actually breathe while I was running, which was great. And I was like, "Oh, it's so nice." And as soon as you stop, everything kind of like goes, and you're like, "I can't breathe anymore." It sucks,
Yeah, you got to get that Afrin. I live on that stuff when my nose is clogged.
It's just whatever.
So what
anyway,
what'd you do
not
during
your thing?
break? Your break, you still worked, but
does anybody know what this is? Does anybody know what this is? Does anybody?
Let's see. Somebody here. I'm gonna put you solo screen so they can see it.
Yeah. Has anybody ever seen one of these before? Any of you old guys out there know what this is?
Somebody's got to know.
Somebody's got to know what that is. Other than the 12 days of, so the 12 days of Christmas really occupied normally what we do is the 2 weeks between Christmas and New Year's, we shut everything down for the channel, and that's it. This year we were doing the 12 days of Christmas, so it was like everything was revolving around that. And so it was like between shipping and emails and questions and talking to manufacturers I was like, I've had enough.
Yeah.
So we went one more week this week, and it was just like I told, this laptop has not been opened in 3 weeks. So it was like,
yeah.
So
I
yeah,
could tell. I could tell in the last stream, just like Dean, this is 50% Dean. We're starting to batteries depleted Dean.
Dean needed a break. Yeah, so this is the Tamiya Grasshopper circa 2016. There was a company that bought all the Tamiya molds and re-released all the cars. This was, of course, when I was a young lad back in the 80s. This was my first car that my mom bought me. And so when I saw I could buy it again 3 years ago, I bought it, and it's been sitting in a box on the shelf behind me forever. And I also have a Hornet back there that I haven't built, and then I have a big truck that I also built too. But so that's been my life for this week. I was like, you know what, screw it, I'm going to do something for me.
Yeah, they got to take them out for a drive.
How many females won prizes? Were they long-term viewers? I honestly don't know, but we did have quite a few females. I know one in particular was playing for her husband. She won one of the Morel prize packs. And because she reached out to me and says, I was playing for my husband. He told me about this. I wanted to win something for him for Christmas. This is so cool that I won something. I'm sure it didn't arrive on time, but she was excited nonetheless. There was a couple girls that won speakers. We did have quite a few girls that entered, and I'm assuming that they were playing for their significant other. But we were getting on average, I think the lowest amount we got was somewhere in the 600 range, and then like 1,400 was like the maximum.
On the entries.
Yeah, per day.
Yeah.
So it was, no one knows how to tell time. We figured that out. When we say 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, apparently that means 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, which we didn't count against anybody. We just knew we needed a hard out. We still put you into the random drawing. But luckily, and I have to thank Kicker, because the way they did their giveaway on the first Unmasked, we totally stole that idea, and it worked perfectly. Like, we have that down perfect. Like, we can do a giveaway now like it's nobody's business. Like, we got that shit figured out. I mean, I that whole email, like, I structured that whole email box before we even started, and it was like, okay, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and I'm going to move this over, and then as those win, I'll move them here, and then once I get their addresses, they'll go here, and then once they're shipped, that file will move there. And it's like, somehow we managed to ship everything out with, no addresses got lost, none of that shit. It was like, wow. Oh man.
Well, somehow the 12 days of Christmas ended up being closer to 25 days.
Well, it was, I mean, we thought we wouldn't get anyone that would want to participate in it. I mean, we were struggling, at the beginning, we're like, you know what? Okay, so like, we'll give 12 things away. Maybe we'll give like 3 things from audio control. We got a couple things back here that we could give away if we need to. We'll just put some stuff together. And then I was like, all right, well, let me start making phone calls. And like, everyone was like, yeah, what do you need? What do you want? I'm like, I don't know. What do you want to give me? I mean, I don't care. Kenwood and JVC, which is the same guy, I mean, they literally just were like, all right, this is all the stuff we can give you. And I was like, okay. Oh, okay. I think we gave away like,
I watched that. I actually caught that one because that was before I left.
We gave away like 6 dash cameras, I think, or 5 dash cameras and a bunch of speakers. And I know with JVC, they were supposed to give us dash cams, but they hadn't come in yet. So like, you realize you're still going to get those, right? And I was like, no. Like, yeah, they're still going to come your way. And I was like, I don't know, February, March, we'll have another giveaway. Woo,
So, speaking of which, Bobby asked an important question, but first, quick shout out to Scott. Appreciate the super chat, my dude.
Thank you.
Now let me see. Uncle Bobby B has a very good question. So I don't know the total. Dean didn't tell me beforehand. I'm gonna be surprised with you guys.
Well, it was $1,800.
Oh, that's less than I expected.
I had allotted about $2,000. Originally, I was thinking about $1,000, and then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna say I can keep it under $2,000, then that'll be wonderful. So when all was said and done, it came to about $1,800 if I haven't lost any of the invoices or anything like that from shipping. So, yeah, it was, and it went out. We used both UPS and the postal service because, you know, some things just work better through mail, like mailing out all the body panel tools, and some of the smaller stuff was just like, it was way easier just to use the postal service because UPS sucks.
Yeah.
And our UPS store suffers from personality disorder. Everyone there is just a rectal thermometer. I don't know. They're just all just jerks.
That's how
It's
it
like,
goes.
it's like, dude, wow. But no, it was $1,800. So.
And that's crazy. It's expensive to give free stuff away.
Yeah, I mean, you know, whatever. I mean, it was, I wouldn't even have thought about it, but you asked the question, so I was like, I brought home all the receipts tonight, and I was like, hey, Sue, help me add these up real quick, because, you know, Robert wanted to know how much this stuff cost, and I was like, she's like, why? And I was like, I don't know, because it's funny. Because who's dumb enough to spend that kind of money? I mean, you know. You know.
That's a good one. Solid
Yeah.
rectal thermometer.
Yeah.
But before we get into our topic, because we can't get into our topic until 17 minutes. It's just it is what it is.
Yes.
We need to check out my poll. I did put a poll up.
Oh, sweet.
Let's full screen layout it so you can check it out. So one has to go for forever. So you have to choose wisely. Out of the three, I know what you're going to pick, but Mandalorian, Cobra Kai, Rick and Morty. Cobra Kai is at 40%, Rick and Morty 35%, and Mandalorian at 24%.
I'm gonna go with this poll 100%. I mean, yeah, this is right on. I could care less about Cobra Kai.
Oh,
I was not a big Ralph Macchio, you know, 80s Kachi Swan, whatever, you know, Mr. Miyagi. But Rick and Morty is life, and even though I don't really care about The Mandalorian, this season was totally worth it. I mean, they introduced Boba Fett. I mean, Jesus, you know, shocker. And
someone's gonna die. They got the spoiler in the chat.
Well, yeah.
I don't think as much as we was out there everywhere.
Yeah. So, you know.
Yeah. Cobra Kai, I'm not gonna say it's like a subjectively good show, but I love the show, and it's like it's nostalgia junk food to me. And I can't get enough of
it. Nick wants to know where to enter the poll. Where you post the polls at?
Community tab. Yep.
So,
community tab on my page. It should be in the feed just like any other video. Unless you don't have the bell on, and then you won't see it.
So go to Hi-Fi Vega on YouTube and it'll be there.
Yep.
There you go. Easy enough. I'm a big Rick and Morty fan. One of my friends turned him on to me. She's like, you need to watch Rick and Morty. And I go, why? And she goes, because you'll love Rick.
You are Rick. You're
Rick.
Rick.
And that's what she said. She goes, you're Rick. And I go, no, I'm not. She goes, trust me. All right. So we are similar, but I'm not a drunk.
Yeah.
I don't
get your high by running. You get your high by running.
Yeah. And I was like, God damn it.
You're one, aside from the drinking, do you burp a lot? That would be the only thing. The beer makes them burp.
Yeah. I mean, you know.
That'd be the only thing separating you two, in a lab coat.
Yeah. Although I feel I could rock the lab coat. I would totally rock the lab coat.
No, you could definitely rock the lab coat. No, and I almost this week too put the Rick to my Morty on the
jeez.
I almost did it, and I should have done it, but
oh, dude, you know, anytime somebody says pickle, I just go, Pickle Rick. Yeah. I'm Pickle Rick. You know, dude, and it's like, it's me, bitches. That's all that goes through my head. It's like, I just gotta sit there like this.
Yeah. Well, the last season, it wasn't as good as I hoped, but it was still very good. It's like if you compare it to other shows, it's still very good.
The last season, I was like, wait a minute, it's over?
Yeah.
How's it? Wait, like, don't they normally like say goodbye or something? Like,
yeah.
What did I miss? You know, I mean, I'm all for Rick going and taking a shit in the celestial toilet, but I mean, What did I miss?
Wait, was that the last episode? Because I remember.
I don't know.
Yeah, they. What?
You got me. I paid for the season. I was like, I'm just gonna buy it because I want to watch it now. And I was like, oh crap.
Yeah, it went meta, and then they done a few one-off episodes that didn't really tie in, and then the whole time loop thing. Yeah, it got a little crazy.
Whatever. I mean, the nice thing about that show is you just go back, watch the old ones, and go, that was a good time. It was a good time.
For sure.
So now on to misery. All right, we got a topic, and I have some comments, so go ahead.
I do have to clear up. The title was Cardio Trends We Hope Stay in 2020. So people thought maybe I put the wrong time, but they don't know we always have a negative slant on here. So what I mean is negative. We want these trends to stay in 2020. We don't want them to carry forward with us.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
That's
hey,
what
remember that 1 year where I don't know, it kind of sucked just a tad. Although it was funny. So I tried to put up a positive, inspirational thing on my Facebook page at the end of the year. It's like because I ran my 1,000 miles and I went over, which was like, yay!
You almost got 1,100, didn't you?
I almost got 11. I would have got 1,100 if it wasn't for the 12 days of Christmas. So I knew that was coming. So like I was done in November, but I knew I was just not going to have the opportunity to run that much in December because of staying late and doing all the giveaways and all that crap. So that kind of screwed things up. But it's okay. It's the end. And then, I got the award for Install of the Year runner-up, which like blew my freaking mind. Like if you wanted to see Dean speechless, that was that rare opportunity to see that. Because when they said my name, I was like,
yeah.
And
you were in afterglow. I watched the live stream right after it happened. You were totally in the afterglow of it.
We never even thought that was possible. It was like Trusted Tech, and that was it. And like when McNulty won, good friend of mine, happy for him. It was like I almost wanted. I was gonna. All right, well, we're done watching. I'm gonna shut it off. And I was like, you know what? I want to see who wins Installer of the Year. Totally forgot about runner up. And then they're like, okay, Chris Cook was like, hey, it's time for this, and our first runner up is, and they go, Dean Bayad, 5-star car stereo. And I sat back in the chair and I was like, in my head, I'm going, what the just happened? What parallel universe of strangeness am I in? And then cold reality set in because they made us pre-record our acceptance speeches.
Yeah.
And I honestly knew I wasn't going to win this award, so I didn't go and put my full, I kind of was different. I was Dean. I had a good time with it because I was like, no one is ever going to see this. Yeah. So much so I was like, I wish I could just give the industry a big hug. And everyone that knows me knows there's one thing I absolutely hate. Hugs. I'm not a hugger. Don't hug me. High five, maybe, not now. But, and I'm just, when I started to play, I go, oh shit. And it's like, what? I was like, no one's supposed to see this. Crap. So
this was the bad one.
This was the bad one. Oh man. So
you should have just went full. You should have went full Kanye West on it and just wild out.
Dude, I did. I honestly was like, wow. I'll see if I can dig it up and find it somewhere. I think I might even deleted it because I was like, no one is ever going to see this. And then everyone saw it, and I was like, oh crap. I wasn't like I was dropping the F-bomb or anything, but it was just like, wow, can you all believe this? I mean, really? Whoa. Crazy.
And then you called in Fernando. He's at Walmart trying to shop.
Oh, yeah. Dude, he yelled out, holy shit, in the store, and his wife was like, dude, calm down. He's like, no, my bad, but holy shit,
You're a bad influence on him, man.
I'm a bad influence on anybody. I'm not going to lie. I know that about myself. You put me in a room with anybody, and by the end of the day, they will be like totally changed. They'll be like, well, and I'll be living in the corner. I don't have it to them. I mean, I realize that. I mean, I realized the sweet woman my wife was before I met her. And God, poor Haley. That's all I got to say. Well, anyway, so, it was like I won that and it was awesome. And I got the piece of glass and it's sitting on the TV and I keep picking on Haley because, she graduated college. And so it was like, so now we have that competition between who's smarter than the other one. And I'll be like, I don't know, bro. All I got was a piece of glass. You got a piece of paper.
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah, but mine's a BS. And I said, that's what you're full of.
Glass cuts paper.
Yeah, exactly. So
Oh,
anyway,
man.
sorry to go down that little tirade, but
no,
back to the focus.
All right.
Focus.
Let me start with something I want to stay in 2020. And Scott, aka Civic, he's reading my mind right here. Leave bullet tweeter in 2020. I love this man. I love everything he stands for. I heart this. Just one of these.
So the funny part about that is Fernando and because I read your question and I said to Fernando, I was like, "Oh, you got to help me with this one," because a lot of this stuff just vapors right by me. It's like I don't stopping to smell the roses right now. For one, I can't. But I mean, in general, it just doesn't happen. So things that irritate me, they just go right by, and I don't give them a second thought. But hey, he's more attuned to that kind of crap. So I go, goddamn loudspeakers, man.
Yeah. They're adjacent. Those are bullet tweeter adjacent.
Oh, dude. So we actually said that, and it's funny that you picked that one. Not really, because I mean we typically pick the same shit.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I know.
I was like, oh no, I totally agree with that. I mean, and there again, I don't hate bullet tweeters. Some of the first tweeters I ever owned were a form of a bullet tweeter. Just really expensive bullet tweeters. Like Morel made a horn-loaded tweeter that was phenomenal. Look, you look at it today and go, oh, it's just a bullet. And it's like, no, it's not. It's a $150 sexy ass dome tweeter with a horn on top of it. So slow it down, killer. A double stack magnet and just like, oh yeah. But that doesn't exist anymore. Those are gone.
And well, I think it's more. I hate to say this, it's the bullet tweeter people.
Yeah.
More than it is the bullet tweeter themselves.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with it's like the yeah. Never mind. I'm not gonna say that because that caused heat last time. Never mind. No, I agree. I agree with you wholeheartedly. Yeah. All right. So I got one.
All right,
because we actually put some. We were like, man, we got to really think about this because I got to show up. Like we ain't been doing shit on the internet in like 3 days or 3 weeks. So like people are like, what happened to Dean and Fernando? Where have they been? Huh?
Yeah, are they dead?
Other than spending $1,800 in UPS bills. So one of the things that has irritated the shit out of us is the people that buy high level to low level adapters and think that is the end all be all for their installation. So they have a factory amplified Sony, B&O, Harman Kardon, whatever system, and they go on and they buy a 6-channel high level to low level adapter. And the question we get is, hey man, I bought this high level, how do I install it to put in? It's like, you have 22 channels of sound coming out of your car. Could you have done maybe 5 minutes more research and found out that, oh, wait a minute, somebody makes an interface into this to give me 6 channels of preamp output. Oh, well, that was more expensive. I didn't want to buy that.
Yeah. I just got the resistor-based LOC, man. That's
what I'm trying to do. Hell? So that was one of the things we came up with. It was like, I just wish people would that needs to stop. It's like, we appreciate the business that you're giving to those manufacturers, but it's the wrong tool for the job. And it's like when you tell someone they have to pay $500 to interface with their factory stereo, it's like, okay, listen, I get it. All right. But you didn't want to buy a head unit. You still have to have a preamp. It's to get you. It's the same. You have the head unit tax whether you buy the head unit or not, and that's what we tell people. So you got the head unit tax whether you buy it or not. If you want to keep the one in the dash, you're still going to need to get preamp on that somehow. So you're going to have to. It's going to cost. It's not like it's a free ride. It's not like
especially on the F-150s. It's like what $500-$600 just
all of them are.
Anything on it.
Yeah, anything that says Zen is that. It's like an elf. Bubblegum stuck to the railing is not free candy. Okay, having a factory radio with a screen in the dash that does CarPlay does not mean you don't need some form of integration into the car.
Yeah, it is required. And you are rubbing off on me because I literally wrote in one of my notes, end all be all. So, hold up. Oh, no.
I'm holding.
Oh, no. I've messed up horribly.
It's okay.
I've
Welcome to my
separated the
world.
tabs. Things no, but so
Across the
right
streams.
here, people thinking the amp dyno numbers are the end all be all. Dude, I'm so tired of that, and I do amp dynos.
Okay, so my next one was maxing out gains. Same goddamn thing. Okay,
Yeah.
listen, man. Here's the deal. I can appreciate the fact that you bought an amplifier that's 75 watts by 4, but it's only 75 watts by 4. If you really wanted it to be loud, you may have wanted to save a little bit more money. I understand. And gone up to the 100 watt by 4, because running your gain at negative 5 dBs of gain overlap means that you're okay with putting 5 dBs of distortion into your speakers. So if you blow them and you tell me that I've set my gain structure up properly, I only had 5 dBs of overlap on there, guess what that means? You were fine with distorting them with 5 dBs of distortion. Oh, wait a minute. What? Yeah, that's what that means. Okay, so if it wasn't loud enough, get a bigger amp.
Right.
Bigger. And it's like everyone is so now. It's like we finally figured out how to tell people that gain was important. It's like you need to set your goddamn gains properly. But now they're so fixated on it that it's like I feel like I'm getting cheated if I'm not getting 75 watts out of my amplifier, even though it's a 75 watt. I need to get every. Yeah, it's like, no, slow it down, man. It's okay. Like, it's never going to be loud enough, no matter what you buy, what you do. We're in this for the long haul, so buy the biggest thing you can get, and then if it's not, be content with what you got. We never are, but I understand it. It's like it's everyone. I think I can get a little bit more out of it.
Yeah, and I could be blamed a little bit for this because I get excited when something does well in the amp dyno. It's exciting, but
it is.
I don't stress enough that like, hey, this missed its ratings by 10%, and then you realize like when they manufacture these, they do 1,000 or 2,000 or 3,000.
Yeah, there's going to be variations.
There's variance in every one of them. They're not all going to be the same.
I mean,
some may do a little more, some may do a little less.
I mean, I had today we were putting a 1000 the T1005 micro Rockford amplifier in a Jeep, and I think it power spec'd at like 1057, and I was like, that's funny because the one I put in like the end of last week, I think spec'd out at like 989.
Yeah,
and I'm like, yeah, I mean, it's just what it is. There's going to be variations in the matrix that cause these things to happen. And I always find it funny when they give us a max total on a 5-channel amplifier. It's like,
yeah.
All right, so what channel sucked? I mean, what channels is it? The sub one? Was it like my left front? Was it loud? I mean, what sucked? It's like, can we break this down into like, these were 100, these were 100, this was 500. It's like, no, that's all you get. Like, wow, okay.
Yeah, they just give you the total. Yeah, it's
1,500 watts. It's 21 gigawatts. Holy shit! Give me one of those. No, don't get me wrong. I still want a 30,000 watt amplifier. I think that would be cool.
Oh yeah. I mean, why not?
I was telling the Sound Digital guys, I was like, I really want one of those amplifiers. And they go, what for? And I said, because it look cool on the wall. I mean, I got nothing to power it with. What do I care? It's like this long and it looks cool.
Yeah.
Duh.
I have one that I'd like to see gone in 2020. This is gonna hit you right in the feels.
Okay.
I want to see the lack of car audio shows and conventions gone. I want to see them back. I'm ready to see them back. I'm tired of this not being able to do anything.
Well, I mean, I think that was a softball you threw right across home plate at the batter. I mean, let's be honest. It's funny. There's actually a sound competition this weekend. Jeff texted me and he's like, Jeff Smith, for those of you who don't know what I mean by Jeff. He's like, hey, man.
They should know Jeff by now.
Yeah, I think everyone knows Jeff by now. We were actually texting right before this about a friend of ours that isn't doing so well. And, he's like, dude, because I sent him a link to, there's a car show coming up next weekend. and it's one of the ghetto sled competitions where it's like, you know, the loudest show in the world, bro. And the picture is 3 cars all on 28-inch wheels.
Donks.
Donk show
Yeah.
all the way. And I was like, hey, man, you want to go? I won't tell you how the conversation went after that because, you know, anyways. So he's like, oh, yeah, but, you know, this weekend is the opening of Iasca season in town. And I was like, oh, okay. You have fun with that. I mean, although this would probably be the weekend to go only because the weather will be nice and you won't be standing in the parking lot at 90 degrees going, what's up, man? Oh, what's going on with you?
Sweating to death.
You know, hey, how's it going? It's good. What did you change in your car? Oh, nothing. You know, we all got together last night, drank some beers and tuned it.
Yeah.
So did you like take 1,000 hertz and go up 2 dB? I mean,
yeah. And then you sit inside of it and you close your eyes and see what.
I mean, to me, that's a good day. I'm not going to lie. At the end of working on a car, it's like, oh, how does that sound? That sounds good. Yeah. You like the way it sounds? Yeah.
I'd like it more if you had a massaging seat.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. Air conditioning. Oh, the air conditioning always throws me off. It's like, why is my butthole cold?
Oh, yeah, because I packed it in.
Yeah, I was sitting in a car once, and the guy got in and turned all the air stuff on, and I was like, I looked at him and go, why is my butt cold? He goes, oh, so I got your I know, it's fine. I just wonder why my butt was cold.
Better than being hot.
I don't remember that from the 3 days we were working on your car. My butt never got cold when I was in this car before. You know, so got any Iasca CDs? Yes, we do still have Iasca CDs, and next week we will be giving more of them away on the Friday news show that we do on Dean and Fernando's Car Stereo Clips. We kind of laid off of that because, I don't know, we were giving away like thousands of dollars and other stuff. But no, we will be back to Iasca CDs. And I was actually talking to somebody about that today, that, you know, they're like getting ready to work with them and all that kind of stuff. So super excited. Maybe we'll have some good news on the Iasca front to report at some point, because that got bought out by a new guy, and so he's going to start having some fun with it. But I think this year they're going to keep the same CD, just because, you know, just trying to get all the nonsense of owning it back in business and up and running. So
yeah,
I don't know. I'm not a sound competition guy, but I don't mind supporting the group. I think it's cool. So
oh yeah, it's fun.
But yeah,
I'd like to try it. I'm just scared.
You know, so it's funny you mentioned conventions, because like Knowledge Fest, which is, you know, is the big thing that we do, and we teach classes there. Well, this year they did it online and they recorded everything. And so if you're registered and you're in the industry, you can watch it anytime you want now. So they're supposed to have another one here in February, which would have been for the East Coast. Yeah. And I'm like, which is California, which is where we met Bobby last year. And of course, that's going to be canceled. And I'm like, why would we do another one of these? Like, you recorded our show like a month ago. What are we going to do different? I mean, it's the same class. Like, we've literally taught this class 4 or 5 times. Yeah. It's the same class. The only difference is we do it in front of new people. Now that you've recorded it, what am I going to do?
You know, it's like, you should get it and then just splice in where you come in like, it's February 2021.
Well, so I was like, I wonder if I could just get a copy of it, and then I could just edit it, you know, take out all the dead air and shrink it down to about 40 minutes, and then play it. And then at the end of it, go, okay, guys, who has questions? Let's just do questions for the next 20 minutes. You know, it's like,
oh, that's actually a good idea.
What's up, Anthony? But yeah,
do you have another one?
I do not have another one. That was as far as I got. So
I'm ready for you. I'm tired of 10 to 12 different companies selling the same exact amp that just has different colors on it. I want that to stay in 2020. We don't need 12 versions of that amp.
That ain't gonna happen.
I know it's not.
That ain't gonna happen.
We're making a wish list, so might as well put it on there.
You can put one brand on it, and then he can get down with his brand on it. And so you can have a pirate brand, we can have a down brand, we can have a other brand, we should have a 5-star brand, you could have a D brand, and then they can all say that, oh no, man, we handpicked the parts for this one.
Yeah.
Okay.
We tuned it.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I'm not saying they don't. I mean,
Yeah.
you get to pick. All we see is the same piece of aluminum, and we might get to see the same circuit board, but the circuits are on it. Obviously, if you're willing to pay more, you'll get a better circuit, which in the end might make it work better. But yeah, I mean, for me, most manufacturers make too many goddamn products already. Like,
Yeah.
I, and none of them are what we want. Really. I mean, it's like, I think that should be a show. Like, what should every company make? What should every amplifier manufacturer make as their, like, these are the amplifiers you have to have, okay, in order to be an amplifier manufacturer. And it's like, because all right, if you're an amplifier manufacturer and you have a 800 watt, you have you have an 800 watt, you have a 1200 watt, you have a 1500 watt, you have an 1800 watt, you have a 2K, you may have a 3K, you got a 5K, you may have a 2500K, but you have the 5K, and then you're going to go up to a 10K, which, give me a break, really. No, it's not. And then you have the 20K, which is strappable and also only made for burping. There again, I'm fine with that. I have no problem with any of those. But where it all goes south is you got a 50 by 4, maybe a 70 or 100 by 4, and a 125 by 2. And that's it. And you're like, and then you're going to say something, well, the Class Ds, like the 800 and the 1200 Class Ds are full range Class D amplifiers. So, I mean, you could run those on highs. And you're like, oh, I bet you those things sound wonderful.
Yes, they sound.
And then they look at you and go, well, considering the people are going to buy them, I'm sure they do sound wonderful. And you're like, oh, my bad.
I will make an exception for them. Like, if you have something unique to add to it in the market, if you're selling it the cheapest, if you're adding something other than marketing, so if you actually went through this amp and you're like, okay, there's one thing I could change in this amp to make it better than this guy's, make it last longer, more power, whatever, more efficient.
Yeah, more copper, whatever.
Yeah, but if it's like the same exact thing and it's all marketing, yeah, I'm not down with that. Yeah,
bring back the heat sinks. No doubt, right? I mean, I understand what he's saying for sure. Yeah. That'd be RVH. I totally understand what he's saying. Like, I miss the days of the big and nostalgia in my rearview mirror. That was a fun time. But I do not, for the life of me, miss installing that.
It's hard to do clean wire when you only got this much room on the sides.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, I'm putting a 1,000-watt amp underneath the seat in a Jeep, that is like, it's size of a carton of cigarettes, and you're like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. And I know what it's going to do. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, I look at the audio control stuff, and that's about as big as I want to get.
Yeah, for sure.
No bigger than that. And the other thing too, like, one of the other things that bothers the shit out of me when it comes to amplifiers, and I know this has already jumped the tracks, I'm sorry, is if you're going to make an amplifier line, if you have a 4-channel amp and you have a sub amp that are not the same size, just leave the room and don't come back until you do. I cannot work with that at all. Like, not a chance. If you come out with the coolest 6-channel amplifier in the world and you're like, dude, we got this 6-channel amp that everybody wants. It's 4x75 and 2x120. Or if you bridge it, it's 500 by 1. Hell yeah, this thing is going to be dope. It's got a full-way 3-way. It's got a 3-way fully adjustable bandpass crossover on each channel. So you can do tweeter, you can do mid, you can do sign me up. I want one of those. But here's the caveat. It's this big, and our sub amp is this big.
Yeah.
What the hell am I going to do with that? Like, seriously. What?
Yeah.
I mean, you couldn't stretch it?
That's how they used to do in the 90s. They had the amp board on one side and the connection board on the other.
Yeah, stretch the bitch. Make it I'm not doing forced perspective install here, where it's like, look, if I mount this one here and this one here, they're the same size. No.
Right.
I don't think so. That's yeah.
Well, 25 Hertz has read my mind here a little bit.
Yeah.
He says, my wish is that Hi-Fi Vega continue believing that CCA is better than OFC. So on my
100%.
list here that I want to stay in 2020,
Yes.
I'd love for CCA wire to stay in 2020 and not make it through. It's
No.
not going to happen. But
It's not gonna happen. I can
wish
tell you that now. I've been standing in the showroom when the guys will come in and they'll be like, "I need my wires," and you'll be like, "This is Paul. Paul, the guy's here for you. He needs his wires." And it'd be like, and it's like, "I need that $19 kit," and I'm like, "This is why I don't ever come over here." I just walk out the door because I'm like,
yeah.
"Hey, you know who I saw walking down by the end of the plaza? Jesus Christ was out there." You know what he said? If you buy that, you're gonna burst into flames before you walk out the door. Man, you lying. Rawr.
El Fuego, I think we could both agree with this. Leave the angled power and ground terminals and different size hex keys.
So, years ago, Audison invited us out to California when they previewed the Prima amplifiers.
Yeah.
And so there was a guy named Larry Penn that was part-timing for Audison. He had been an Audison dealer. He'd worked for Audison. He's out of Canada. Some of you guys may have heard this gentleman's name. He is now in charge of MSC. He owns the company MSC, which is the company that distributes Helix and Blam and Stinger radar detectors here in the United States. Doug Dobson, who was on our show on the 7th, works with Larry. Anyway, so Larry's up there and he's talking about the new Prima Audison amplifiers. And he goes, "I just want you all to know that this picture that is up here right now is not an accurate representation of the amplifier. I made them go back and fix these terminals because they thought it was okay to have these terminals come out like this. And I explained to them, that's not going to work. You need to fix this. This is $1,000 amplifier. These terminals need to work the right direction." And I was like, "I will love you from now until the end of time, Larry." You are my hero.
Hey, we've both been giving Kip hell about those terminals.
And I don't, and they all have the same, even like I've gotten heat from people, like when I say these suck and they go, "That's because you don't install them properly." And I go, "Oh, please educate me. Tell me how I'm not installing these amplifiers properly." "Well, they're made so that when you mount them to your amp boards, the wires drill through and go out the bottom." I go, "Who the hell's doing that?" I mean, 90% of the installs for these, probably more than that. I'm just pulling a fictitious number out of my butt. These are not getting mounted to a flush board or a beauty panel where you can actually do this. Most people are going to be mounting them to the back of a box,
Right.
where that's what's going to happen is they're going to pinch the wires out like this. They're not, come on, or they're mounting to a seat. I mean, we put them on amp boards, and if we have room, we'll put risers on them so we can accomplish the bend. But no, they don't get mounted like that. But even Kicker, when I was talking to, when you were talking to him about it, I know I've talked to him about it. I'm like, nobody does this anymore. Nobody does this. What world of, and it's not Kicker's fault. Most manufacturers, the people that are there have been there like for 20 years.
Yeah.
And that's fine. They know a ton of shit about their stuff, but they might not necessarily be in tune with what's happening outside in the rest of the world. And that's something we always have to push back against. It's like, I mean, I've been told by manufacturer that, I don't like you anymore. And I'm like, "Oh, I'm sorry." That's, I mean, feelings mutual, but whatever. I'll get over it. You won't.
I got him at the repair center when we were doing the tour. And I said, "Kip," I was like, I really love this." Steve was there too. I was like, "I really love this amp." I said, "But these angled terminals, man, I do not like them." It's like someone not only that installs amp, but that tests amps. I don't like them. And then the techs back there in the back, like, yes, we've been saying this for years.
Yeah. Maybe we'll get something different. Maybe not.
Maybe not. Who knows? If not, it's still fun to make fun of them about it. So
I mean, it can't cost more to switch it. I mean, it just, I mean, it's funny too because you go, okay, well, wait a minute, the Q class has normal terminals. The KX amp has normal terminals. These guys don't. So you're like 2/3 of the way there. What happened? You know,
That's like trying to turn around the Titanic.
yeah. Well, it's also like, all right, so what you're trying to say is that somebody that buys the more expensive stuff, they're not going to be the ones spending all the money to have the custom install done. It's the guys that buy the affordable stuff. They're the ones. I'm going to go in the back. I have some crack I need to take care of because crack is whack.
Speaking of the crack, I have one for you. This is the biggest pipe dream of all.
Oh, God.
That I wish would stay in 2020.
All right,
it's twofold. It's twofold. Are you ready?
I'm as good as ready as I'm gonna get.
The first one is brand haters. The second one is /brand elitist.
Well, you know, I want to have it put on a T-shirt, and now that I've said it, somebody's just gonna do it. Don't really don't. And I won't put on a T-shirt because I don't wear T-shirts with words. And even though this says 5 stars, it's technically a logo. If you're not on my team, you suck. All right. And 2020 is the personification of if you're not on my team, you not only suck, but you should drive off a cliff, set yourself on fire, shoot yourself in the head, drown yourself, pull yourself out, drive yourself off a cliff again, jump into a meat grinder, and die. I mean, there is no wiggle room whatsoever for people anymore. I mean, it's like, you know, like the Clean Wire Club on Facebook. Oh my God. I'm like, everyone just needs to, you guys realize this is a Facebook like group for people to have some fun and post pictures of their cool work. But dude, like, oh my God, bro, I can't believe you're using that piece of crap amplifier and you put that wiring on. It's like,
I've seen that so much. Like, dude, if you're he done something the right way. It doesn't matter what he's using.
There's so many. But I mean, don't get me wrong. It's always been that way. There's always been, oh, you don't use Rockford. I mean, back in the 80s and 90s, like, oh, you're not using Rockford. You're not using Precision Power. Oh, you don't have Boston Acoustics. You don't have MB Quartz. You know, oh, what are you running? Oh, Ryan. Oh my God. Oh, what are you from the poorhouse? I mean, what side of the tracks are you from? Right. You know, so it's always been the way, and everybody is like that. But you know, it is frustrating because, like, for us, it's like we look at it and we're like, dude, this is supposed to be for fun. Yeah. Like, if you want to be serious about something, like if you want to go and be serious about something, you can go turn on CNN, Fox, MSN, all that crap. You can be as serious as you want. You can stare at the world and what's happening in it, and you can be like, or you can be like, yeah, you can be whatever way you want. But this is car audio. This ain't curing cancer. This ain't a UN World Summit. It is a universal thing that everybody does. Like, I look at the guys like the guys that do stuff in Russia and Ukraine and Iran and Australia, New Zealand, and sorry, I can't.
Australia.
Well, I said that one. The other, Indonesia, and like it's like we all look at it and it's a love for this thing that we call car audio and the work that these people do and the passion that they have. And for some douchebag to come and go, oh man, what kind of crap is that? You didn't use this cool shit. And then you go, like, we'll look and we'll see that, and I'll get a freaking email, you know, or you know, it'll be like, did you see this? And I'm like, no, I have a life. It's a small one, but it's still a life. And I'll go look at it. It's like this guy has posted nothing before. He has no pictures that he's posted in a group that's based on putting up pictures. And all he's saying is, like, everything he's ever said is just hateful shit. And it's like, there's 40,000 people here. You're going to go. Bye.
Guy.
You know, I had some guy after we changed the rules. This was great. I loved this. We changed the rules to for those guys that don't follow, we on Facebook, Dean and Fernando and I put together this. We were like, hey, let's come out with a 12-volt clean wire club. And it was an idea that it was like, because we're known for our clean wiring. So it was like, hey, what can we do? And we did it back in like March or April. And since March or April, we've gotten 40,000 members
Yeah.
plus, which is insane. Like we thought, a couple thousand, and we hit the moon. We were shooting for the parking lot.
It
you know,
blew up.
And so, we looked at it. I looked at it over Christmas, and I was like, you know what? All right. So, we've been kind of keeping, track of it. It's like, all right. So here are the things that people want us to change on this. Let's just do it. Let's turn off. Posts have to be approved. All the things that everyone's been bitching about. It's like this. We're gonna do it. Here you go. Sorry for the. We just wanted to see what would happen, and this is what we're gonna do. Some kid comments, and he goes, man, that guy's just a pretentious prick. And I'm like, all right, first off, which parent told you that one? Because you didn't come up with that one on your own. I mean, come on. Yeah. You're like 18 years old. Give me a break. You've never heard pretentious prick. That's so 80s, it's not even funny. Do you even know what it means to call somebody a pretentious prick? I'm not saying I'm not. I'm just saying. I was like, wow, dude. Like, where do I send the check? Oh wait, hold on. Bye.
He should have called you a yuppie. That would have been a good one.
I don't pop my collar though. I don't wear collars. So I mean, I don't think I drive a Camaro. So I'm the farthest from a yuppie there is. I don't have a Lexus or an Infinity or a BMW.
Yeah.
Or God
I don't even have a car that was made. Well, my wife does, but I don't.
I was gonna say I don't.
Years.
Everyone's car is newer than mine. I always find that funny. Bobby, you're sick. But yeah, I mean, I'm totally with you. I don't understand. I don't understand why it's like I get jealousy, I get envy, I get all of that. I just don't understand why it is. Can't we be happy for the guy standing next to us without totally? It's like, oh, you did something amazing, good for you, And it's like even the award I won, there was some guy that just went off the hook on it, and it was like, I didn't award this to myself. I entered just like the guy you're over there talking all like Christ walked into the room. They just saw fit to give it to me and not him. I didn't have anything to do with that. Clearly, they thought I was better than him. I apologize. Bye. It's like, you can't be mad at the guy that won. He didn't do anything different. He just won. It's like, I filled out the same paperwork and made the same videos and did the same crap. And then you're over here to, it's like, no, that's not how it happened. Okay. They are in Florida. I am in Florida. He's not, but this is universal, man. People are crazy,
Yeah.
There's always a Florida man screwing something up.
I do have one. We can end on this one. So
okay.
Make sure that I have it written down correctly. Okay. This is something that I want to come in 2021. I want to bring this.
Ooh, we're going to end on a happy night. Okay.
This is going to go straight to your heart. You're going to love this. Another softball. I want jokes and sarcasm back.
I don't know how to do that.
Right, man. It's like, I want it back. I like sarcasm. I like jokes.
It's funny. I love watching stand-up comedy. I have a blast watching stand-up comedy. And of course, through all of this, it's been hard to watch stand-up comedy because the stuff that has come out really isn't as funny as everything before, because we're all in that place in our lives where we don't know. There's a lot of insecurity, there's a lot of unknown, there's a lot of just anger, fear, aggression, all the things that make you a Sith Lord is happening right now. And so I went back and I watched some of the older stuff, some of the older comedy that was like back when the world was normal, just to hear people say things that it's just funny, Is it hurtful? I'm sure somebody's going to get hurt, but he's a comedian. He has a card that says, I'm a professional comedian and I get to make fun of you because you paid me to do that. So don't take this out of context. Take it for what it is. You're a dickhead and I get to have fun with you. You know,
Right.
everyone gets so bent out of shape so fast.
Yeah.
And it's like, why? Like, honestly, that's kind of funny. Okay.
Right.
Oh, but you're hurting that guy's feelings. I understand that. It's somebody's hurt my feelings, but that's not the end of the world. It was
Right.
funny, you know. If I got upset every time somebody said, you know, oh that guy's this, and it's like,
Yeah.
oh, that was a good one. I haven't heard that one yet. I'm gonna write that down. Yeah, good one. Thanks. Aha,
I
gotcha.
just collect insults. That way it can be.
Yeah. Oh, Eddie Murphy. So I grew up watching.
Yeah.
I grew up watching Bill Cosby himself, Robin Williams live at the Met, Eddie Murphy Raw, and of course Eddie Murphy Delirious. But
Yeah.
those four things were a summer that will never be forgotten. Like I could quote you verbatim almost the whole Bill Cosby himself. There's only one cuss word in the whole thing, and I thought
Yeah.
that might be the path I should take in my life. And then I watched Robin Williams live at the Met, which was 180 degrees flip from that, and was like, oh my god, there's a lot of stuff here. This guy's weird. And then I watched Raw, which is kind of in my mind the middle, because
Yeah.
I feel Eddie Murphy likes to tell stories about funny stuff because he was mimicking Richard Pryor, who I hadn't heard at that point yet. And once I heard Richard Pryor, I was like, oh, I see where Eddie Murphy's coming from. This is really fun. But to me, the storytelling aspect of making fun of somebody or something is the biggest joy. Carlin. Oh yeah. Seven bad words. Oh, the only thing I remember about Carlin was roller fucking. And for those of you guys that ever saw that, it's yeah. Anyways, to me, those are things that we just, I don't know. I feel we've kind of all walked away from it. It just sucks.
Yeah. Yeah. It's totally gone. Like people ruthlessly teasing me about CCA. I think it's funny.
It was.
It's funny to me,
Yeah.
you know, but what's not funny is the people that are like seriously mad. It's like, well, I can't tell. Are you just roasting me and it's funny, or are you like seriously mad?
if you want to get a sense of what this all started out as, our whole YouTube career, go back and go scroll back through YouTube all the way to the beginning. Go all the way back to the beginning of 5-Star 6 years ago and watch some of those videos. They are all tongue-in-cheek. They are all made to be humorous as well as because it's fucking car audio, people. Okay? It's just made to be fun. Like, dude, I wanted to hang out in a parking lot and play my stuff next to that guy who's playing his stuff, and we wanted to high five at the end because, you know, Magic Mike sounded better in my car than it did in your car. Ha ha. And then he would go get better stuff and he'd be like, bro, check this out now. You know, when Haley and I sat in the parking lot playing the quad box by ourselves, that was fun. When Haley and I sat in the parking lot and played the quad box with all the kids around, dude, that was the funnest thing ever. She was loving that experience, that like, oh my God, that was so cool. And then you're going to get some guy be like, I can't believe you guys did that with those kids. I mean, you're going to affect the hearing of those. I mean, like, something in my pants you need to nibble on.
There's always that guy. He can't do it.
Straight up cancer protection qualities. Yeah, they were terrible. I mean, don't get me wrong. Those videos were the worst thing ever. They were terrible. But the idea was to try to have, and it was funny too, because we caught so much slack for those. Like, we talked to manufacturers like, no, we don't want you to do anything for us. And we're like, why? Like, have you watched your videos? I'm like, yeah, they're funny. And they're like, no, they're not. And it's like, all right, whatever. I mean, we kind of liked them. I mean, granted, I'm glad we changed the whole thing because it was like, yeah, this ain't going nowhere. But
and before I forget, Tony May sent a super chat that I missed and I can't pop up. So appreciate it, bro. Don't rip the package, Fernando.
Yeah, well, because we had to box it back up, man. It's not mine. It's got to go back on the shelf.
Dude, my favorite Fernando moment with you is there an echo in here? I died laughing when that happened. I had to pause the video. I was laughing so hard. What was that, day 12? Was that day 12? It's
probably was. You know, it was funny too because the other day he was saying something and I got ready to say it again and I was like, well, he just literally said that. Why? But you know, I just stood there. I'm like, Because I love it when you can tell when he's either annoyed or passionate about something, because he will interrupt me and start talking, and I just and let him go at it because he's got something that he needs to get out, and it's like, you go have fun, boy. Tear him up, Fernando. Tear him up. You know, because everyone, you know, he's like that. Everyone loves Fernando, and that's his place on the show. You're supposed to love him. You're, you know, he's the cute and cuddly one, and I'm that obnoxious, like the guy. I'm the other guy that, you know, does all the, like, I'll lick the battery and do all the bad things and tell you, and then he's the guy that it's like, oh, it's Fernando's time. You need to let him talk more. And it's like, I try to get him to. He doesn't want to. You know, and that's his purpose on that, and it's great. And but when you work with him every day of the week and you get to hear the roof Fernando, and you're like, let me just turn this camera on, point at you, and you tell him how it is, boy. Go to town, kill him.
That's who you really are.
Which I would never do, because it's like, no. Rey Mysterio. Oh yeah, totally. Oh dude, yeah. When all this COVID stuff started, we'll end on this. When all this COVID, he goes, I'm gonna go buy a mask, and I go, wait, what kind of mask are you gonna get? He goes, I want to get one of those wrestler masks, you know, and be like, Rey Mysterio, here I come. I'm like, God damn it, I knew you were gonna say that. He's like,
he really should cool. One day. He really should one day just pop up with it.
Oh God,
just deadpan it. Be looking at the comments like usual, scrolling through, getting the questions. Yeah,
we've already had a grill on the show. We're good.
All right, man. Right. We're at our hour over.
Yeah, a little bit, minute 30. Well, what do you got going on? What do you got going on real quick?
I've got, I don't know what video I'm going to do this week because I haven't even started it yet. So most likely it'll be a radio. But then I have a new show, Sound Advice, doing that on Monday. And me and Big D will be doing 12V Talk again next Wednesday with a cool guest.
Yeah, you got a cool guest? Ooh.
Yeah.
All right, that's cool. We got nothing. I mean, we're starting back fresh Monday, so we'll be, you know, we haven't been doing anything for the last 3 weeks other than giving away a whole bunch of stuff. So we'll make it through this week, and then we'll be back on Monday with our regular Facebook show, and then the rebroadcast, and then a bunch of new install diaries and a bunch of reviews. We were going through it today. We got so much crap we got to review. So really looking forward to that. So we got a ton. We got numerous speakers that got to go in Fernando's car, and
the nice ones.
Oh yeah, he got yeah, sucks. But I mean, right now we still have the 5-channel audio control in there that we've been beta testing, which for those who've been waiting for the LC audio control 5-channel, that should start shipping here by the end of the month. So we'll finally get to see that in bulk, but we have the only one, and they're not getting it back.
And if they insist, you'll break it.
And let me tell you something right now. This LC, like if you need a straight power 5-channel amplifier, the sound quality that comes out of this LC 5-channel, no shit. When we got done reviewing this thing, I got Chris on the phone, and I was like, dude, what did you guys do different? He's like, why? I said, because like this thing, it sounds amazing. Like your amps sound great. There's no question about it. We sell a ton of them. We put them all in. I love the way they sound. This is a whole nother level. And he's just laughing. He's like, yeah, we redesigned. It's just, you know, we redesigned everything. That's one of the reasons why it's taking so long. And I was like, damn, because this thing sounds like, oh my God, better. And so if you're looking for a 5-channel amp that is non-DSP but has all the crossovers and all that fun stuff, first off, go watch our unboxing installation video of it that we did right 3 weeks ago. But man, this thing is going to smoke. This is definitely going to be my new 5-channel amplifier. You know, straight power amplifier. You know,
did they make a D version of it?
They will. It will be out. It's coming. It's 2 months out from there. But you know, the PDX V9 was always like the and it's funny because we did one of those like 2 weeks ago, like between Christmas and New Year's, and we did one of those, and I was playing with it, and I was like, man, bye. New crown. Yeah,
Yeah.
D5 1300. Oh my god. So that amp is going to spank. Oh my god, it's going to spank. But we won't keep you any longer. Do
Yeah.
your thing. Do your
Yeah.
thing.
One quick shout out.
Hey,
Orion.
thank you so much. Ryan rules. Yes, it does.
Appreciate you. All right, man.
But
So
same bad time.
yeah, we'll see you next week, next Thursday. Same bat channel, same bat
Bye.
time. Bye.